Fuck you!
Bet Lynch turns 80 and we News at 10 look back at her 37-year career on and off the cobbles. From pulling pints to pulling men, to plucking, stuffing and roasting enemies. Fun and laughter to tears and sadness and happiness. And sit back and relax as we say happy birthday to Bet Lynch. Good evening. Bet Lynch, the nation's favourite Coronation Street barmaid, is 80 today. News at 10 takes you through the story of Bet's debut and up to her final appearance in 2003. From pulling pints to pulling men and all of her memorable moments. Born Elizabeth Teresa Lynch on 4th of May 1940 to parents Patrick and Mary Lynch. Her father left when Bet was 6 and Bet was brought up by her strict Catholic mother. She became Miss Weatherfield in 1955 when she met a stranger called Joe Mason at a party. Bet became pregnant when Joe left and she gave birth to a boy called Martin. Bet's mother insisted she gave her baby up to the Downs family for adoption. In May 1966, 26-year-old Bet first appeared in Weatherfield with her friend Cilla after getting a job at the PVC factory. She has an affair with her boss John Benjamin and gives Lucille Hewitt a black eye due to her jealousy at Lucille's speed of welding.
It's all right, kid, come on. They do pies, kid. How much are your pies, love?
Steak and kidney, meat and potato, cheese and onion.
Meat and tater.
10p each.
What do you think? Shall we have 4?
Oh, you know me, I'll eat out.
She stuffs her face rotten.
Really?
It's only nerves, though. They get on top of her. Right, we'll have 4 to take out, love.
There you are, 4 boys.
They're fresh, aren't they?
That will be 3 and 4p, please.
Do you fancy a bottle?
Oh, that's a good idea.
What do you want?
Oh, you know me.
Yeah, you'll sup out. You should see her when she gets her first dinner. Right, we'll take a bottle as well, love.
Well, orange, lemonade, grapefruit.
And you got a pale ale, a big un? You'll be quids in next week, love, when factory opens.
Oh, factory, is that where you work then?
Yeah, skeleton staff, me and her.
Oh, right.
Belting little skeleton, aren't you, kid?
How many how many people are going to be employed at the factory?
Oh, about 30. To make your dinner times. Come on, then, boots are made for walking. See you, love.
Jack, love,
Aye?
do you think the brewery might have premises on a very small island somewhere?
Oh, what's up?
Well, you saw those two. Can you imagine another...
A few weeks later, Bet leaves the street, but Bet returns to Coronation Street in 1970 when she comes across Irma Barlow, who remembered Bet from the factory 4 years prior. Bet becomes a junior barmaid on the Rover's return, much to the objection of his mother Annie.
New barmaid.
Hey, nobody said out about it to me.
Oh, don't get me wrong, you know it's my mum's latest scheme. You see, my mum's idea is that she's going to play mine hostess, which means we're going to be a pair of hands short behind the bar. And it would have put you in lumber, wouldn't it, if we didn't get anybody in?
I see your point.
Yeah, and I thought Betty would make a first-rate barmaid.
I'll second that.
You keep out of this. Oh, do you fancy it?
Yeah.
Oh, good, let's talk business. Do you know about the hours?
Oh, you just had half hour either end of the licensing hours, love.
Ah, disadvantages. Well, it knocks your weekend on the head for a start. Days off, you'll have to work them in with Bet. Remembering, of course, that she's been here longest, so she gets first option, right? Advantages, well, it's very sociable, and you're serving a vital need for your community.
Yeah, but what's the money like?
Oh, you sort that out with my mum. Look, can you come back at, say, 6 o'clock this evening?
Well, I don't know. I've had this other offer, you see, and I've got to let them know.
I
mean,
see.
I'd take this if I knew it was definite. But if I turned the other job down and then your mum says...
Oh, say no more. I love making decisions. You're on. I'll see you're all right about the money. Now, I think the best thing is for you to get stuck in right away. Then when my mum comes back...
Smashing. I'll nip home and get into something more appropriate.
Right. Hurry up. Well, do you think she'll do?
Not up to me, love. I mean, it's up to your mum, isn't it?
No, not really. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Well, I think this pub's got everything now, except civilized opening hours. What do you say, Greg? Yeah, I thought you'd say that.
Your mother won't like it, you know.
Listen, darling, in this pub, like any other, the paying customers are all men. She may not like it, but she can't escape from the fact that it's good for business. Anyway, I think it's smashing.
How am I doing? It's not very good, is it?
Oh, you're not doing bad, honey. You just need a little more practice, that's all.
No, love. Watch me.
Why, heck, Kate, what? You've been making some improvements in here.
Love, I think you're doing all right.
Billy, could I have a word with you, please?
Told you.
Right, love, you just stay where you are.
It will be all right.
Of course it will. I've told you I've taken you on.
Would you mind telling Miss Lynch to get dressed and go home, and then perhaps you'll be kind enough to tell me what she's doing behind the bar?
Mother, she is dressed and she's our new barmaid.
Oh, no, she isn't, dear.
Oh, look, Mum, Bet Lynch was willing and available.
I don't doubt
Oh,
it.
now, come on, Mum. I had to do it on the spot. You weren't here, and I thought she fitted the bill, so I took her on.
Well, I'm sorry, but you had no right to.
I think I had every right to, and I thought I was doing you a favour.
If lowering the standard of this pub to something more suitable to the Dock Road is doing a favour...
Oh, Mum, if she was dressed like that in a pub in London, they wouldn't bat an eyelid. Well, at least give her a chance. I can't go back on my word now, can I?
I think I'd best hand in his resignation before I start.
Oh, don't talk like that.
Well, I'm telling you, honey, if you quit, it's going to be over my dead body.
And mine.
Miss Lynch, could I have a word with you, please? Billy has explained to me that you're helping us out for the time being. Now, of course, I cannot be responsible for any arrangement that you and he have made. But if you and the job find each other suitable, I may decide that we need someone permanently. At the moment, of course, I can't say. Oh, and do dress up a little warmer in future.
Hey, talking of the Rovers, though, you won't have seen the new barmaid, will you? If you can call her that. First time I saw her, I thought it was a jukebox.
Now, I want you to give Bet Lynch notice. Does her name sound as though it ought to be over a pawn shop, or is it just that I'm prejudiced? Anyway, I want you to give her notice.
Mum, I'll tell you what I'll do.
No compromises?
No, I'll compromise a bet. I'll bet that having Bet Lynch behind that bar improves custom appreciably, and if it does, she stays. Now, how's that?
Improves custom? Oh, Billy, don't be ridiculous. I suppose you're basing your assumption on the hoary old image of barmaids, big, blousy creatures, dispensing comfort and advice with the bitter beer. Oh, your modern customer is much more discerning. He wants charm and intelligence, not a person that looks as though she's straight off a seaside postcard.
A wager.
All right, a wager she'll drive away more customers than she'll attract.
We'll see, Mum. We'll see. Ta-ra.
Everything okay?
Better than flying horse.
Yes?
By the way, I like your dress.
Well, I'm surprised she's still here myself, Mrs. Walker.
Don't worry, Mrs. Ogden. Her days, indeed her hours, are numbered.
Of course, it's insecurity, you know. When a woman has to flaunt herself like she does.
Really?
I've never needed to.
No?
No. I mean, take the night I met my Stan, for instance. I was wearing a coat made out of a dyed army blanket. And do you know what I had round my neck?
No idea, I'm sure.
A string of cockle shells painted silver. But my Stan fell for me, like a sack of spuds.
Quite remarkable. Will you excuse me a moment?
The day I have to look like that to attract the fellas is the day I give up the struggle as a female fatal.
Not much evidence yet that we shall have to post houseful signs.
Give her a chance, Mum. It's just gone 12.
I'll give her until tonight, which is not only being generous, it is being prodigal. Welcome, stranger. I said welcome home, Len.
Oh, thank you, love. You know, it's a great move, was that?
Oh, it's sweet, Mrs. Walker, sweet.
Pardon?
Putting Bet Lynch behind the bar.
She's like a beacon.
You know, where do those pumps go together like Morecambe and Wise?
Like S and X.
Hello, Mr. Fairclough. Talk about being a stranger.
Hello, darling.
Hey, I thought you were supposed to be worn out.
One up to me, Mum, wouldn't you say?
Len Fairclough's never had any taste. As for Ray Langton, he's pure bottom end of town.
You know, I suddenly feel warm all over.
Yes, well, you can just cool down again because barmaiding's too much like hard work for me.
Well, actually, it has its compensations, you know. I mean, you get more attention than a footballer here.
You're a different shape, darling.
Oh.
I reckon Stan Ogden will be asking to have all his meals in here when he sees you.
Stan Ogden has his meals in here every day, doesn't he? Out of a pint pot.
Excuse me.
Why will you? Too up to me, Mum?
I despair. I really do. What is her attraction?
Wow, doesn't she look sharp, eh?
You know, you can catch your bone yet?
Hey, watch it, Yank. Give in. She's gone down like a bomb.
Come on. So much makeup on, she looks psychedelic. Everything's wrong, in fact, everything.
But does she stay?
Have you had a word with her, Mrs. Walker? I mean, I'm rushed off my feet and there's all these glasses to do.
You were saying, Mum?
She stayed.
Annie continued to take dislikes towards Bet and with her interaction with male customers, as well as choice of men, including Frank Bradley, an ex-con. She was determined to go steady with Frank and was stuck on him, and in 1975 Annie received a house guest who was the husband of her dearest friend Concepta. But the man in question decided Bet was up for the taking.
Don't be silly. Now, come on.
Who's to know?
I am, and I don't want to. Now, look, you've got a wife, and I've got a fella. Now, let's just leave it like that.
Is that the way you really want it?
That's the way I really want it. I said, leave it.
Well, I wouldn't like to think I've been wasting my time.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Walker. You've been quick.
Well, I felt a migraine coming on and I couldn't face the shops. Now it's passing off. Everything all right, huh?
Yes.
Oh, Sean, off out, are you?
Yes, I thought it about time I did an honest day's work. Life can't be all pleasure, can it, Miss Lynch? I'll see you.
All right. What a nice man.
Isn't he?
I know Bet from way back. So I was just thinking of taking her out of town for the night. You know, for old time's sake. Well, and here's yourself on the same errand.
Oh, but that's tough.
Well, not if you were to do a fella a favour.
And how's that?
Come up with a previous engagement.
Oh, get lost, you mean? Are you sick of living, mate?
Come on, it was Bet's idea.
You what?
I'm sorry, Sean, she said I would love to come out. Well, what would I tell Frank? You just have to hope he gets run over on the way here. Well, now, not as good as a wink, isn't it?
She said that?
Word for word. Give or take a syllable.
You're a liar, Paddy. You'd best go back to Air and Sweet Isle while you can still crawl.
Come on, Frank, you don't need to take it like that. It's more of a sport. I'll go Bet there. Well, that's what she is, isn't she? Sport.
Hello, sexy.
Hey, this is a surprise. I thought you had a date.
Would you believe the rotten pig's gone to see his mates?
Oh, I am sorry.
He was smashed out of his mind anyway.
Well, he was well on the road when I was talking to him. He's a funny fella.
Very.
Friends again?
Why not?
Why not? Nice. Just like I remember.
Oh, you messed up something good to me!
What are you talking
really
about?
good! What are you telling? What do you tell Frank?
Nothing!
You must have, you must have!
Mrs. Walker!
Let her here. I don't care. And she's not going to be the only one. Not by a long chalk.
What do you mean? Look, Bet,
I am going to tell Concepta what you get up to when you're away from home, sonny boy.
I haven't done anything.
I'm going to write her a letter telling her exactly what kind of a lousy rat she's married to. At least that should guarantee you a lovely welcome home. Good night.
Bet, can you throw any light on why Sean should have left without saying a word?
Maybe.
Pardon?
I said maybe.
Well, can you or can't you?
We had a barney.
You and he? Sean was a guest in this house, the husband of one of my dearest friends. I mean, surely you could have curbed your talent for upsetting people.
I don't suppose it's occurred to you that it could have been his fault.
Can't imagine how.
Can't you? He couldn't have made a pass at me, for instance.
Oh, do you seriously expect me to believe that?
Men do, you know.
No, the Frank Bradleys of this world, but not a happily married man like Sean.
Oh, grow up, Mrs. Walker. Since when has being married ever stopped him?
I found this whole conversation rather sordid and disgusting.
Well, you started it. And what happened in here last night was pretty sordid and disgusting. First he busts up things between me and a bloke I really could go for, and then he tries to get me into bed himself.
You're a liar, Bet Lynch. You're a wicked, wicked girl.
Am I? And I suppose I'm lying when I tell you it's not the first time it's happened. He has tried it before.
Oh, I refuse to hear another word.
Just before he got married. And when your precious little conceptor was here as well. Right under his fiancée's flipping nose. That's the sort of charmer your Mr. Regan is.
You're quite safe, aren't you, when the man isn't here to defend himself?
And why isn't he, if he's so flaming innocent? Because I threatened that I'd write and tell his trusting little wife just what sort of a rotten devil she'd got, that's why.
As if she'd believe you.
Well, that's her problem.
I mean, a man married to a decent woman like Concepta, he doesn't lower himself.
To what? To go with a tart like me?
I think you'd better leave.
I was just going to.
I mean, leave the Rovers, leave my employment.
Yes, Mrs. Walker. I know what you meant.
After hostile words were exchanged, Bet then moved on to Len Fairclough for a bit of comfort. But then Len revealed to Annie Bet was telling the truth about Concepta's husband. Then Annie went to persuade to come back to the Rovers' return.
Lynch was telling you the truth. Sean Regan is a twicer, and he did try it on with her. Now, I'm not just talking through my hat. I'm not just taking her side. I'm just telling you. He's done it before.
Oh, Len.
Just before he was married. Little Lucille told me that she was worried sick that Concepta was going to marry a bloke like that. I told her it was just some last-minute fling before he got married. I was wrong.
Where is she now?
I gave her the key to my place.
Bet, I want you to come back.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
I don't blame you.
I don't hold no grudges.
I appreciate that.
It's just that, well, a lot of things have been said, and it might be best if we had a clean break. It's time I got out my rut any road.
There is just one other thing, Bet. Don't post that letter. He's made enough bitterness between you and me. Don't let him make a third person wretched.
Ignorance is bliss.
On occasion, yes.
And just let him get away with it.
If it's the price that has to be paid for preserving Concepta's peace of mind, yes. You and I will never see him again.
That's for sure. And I'll never see Frank either. Yeah. Well, I never was one for revenge. Okay? It's lucky I've not bought a stamp yet, or else I'd have wasted it.
Thank you. And Bet, about the job, don't make a final decision yet. Give yourself time to think it over.
All right, you goggle-eyed lot, get back to your supping. It's really me. Mrs. Walker in back, is she?
Yes, love. Hey, Bet, love.
What?
Are you,
Of course I am. I couldn't leave you on your own with her now, could I?
Hey. Dear that.
Bet thought she could shock Len into treating her decently, which worked for a short period of time. Both of their feelings were never really entirely mutual.
You know, it's times like this when I think life isn't all, you know...
Hard knocks and dirty socks.
Something like that.
Just most of it.
Yeah.
Still.
What?
Nothing. How are things with you? Generally.
It's hard to say. Some days I think I'll be doing everybody a favour taking a bob's worth. And then other days I reckon I know what it's all about.
What is it all about?
You've got to make your own mind up on that one, love.
Hell's teeth.
What?
God, you shouldn't be here, that's all. I've got to be flaming working, haven't I? I've got a job down at Walker's. I better get my boots on.
Len.
What?
Do you have to go?
It's only my job. better now. I suppose I could... There's always tomorrow.
Doesn't sound very pushing to me.
Well, it's funny that, isn't it, Jerry?
Hey? We just seen Deirdre. She said Wharton's have been on the phone and cancelled the job.
All under control, is it?
Someone come up. I'll do 'em tomorrow.
Well, you're too late, mate. 'Cause another firm's got that job.
Too bad.
Oh, look, Mr. Fairclough, it happened to...
Aye, aye.
Yeah, well, I was, just... going?
I don't want you getting mixed up with this bloodbath, you know, between the three of us. Jerry, Langton and me. I mean, Langton can be nasty.
So?
Things are a bit dicey at the moment. Not much work coming in. Getting on each other's nerves, you know.
What are you trying to tell me, Len?
Oh, nothing.
Well, go on, only what?
This afternoon was great, you know, great, but...
But what?
We should have had more sense. I should have had more sense.
More sense?
Yeah.
What you mean is you don't want to repeat the experience?
It's not that I don't want to repeat it.
But just when it suits you?
No, not just when it suits me. I think we better just let it die down. No point in asking for trouble.
Get out, Len.
Hey?
I said get out.
I'm only doing this for you, but...
Get out!
That's how you want it.
The problem, as I see it, is that I want to give more than you want to take, right? Well, I certainly got that wrong, didn't I? This time, I thought. This time, it's not some smooth operator who's got me conned from now till next Christmas. It's Len.
I didn't.
Con me? No, you didn't. You promised me nothing. I led like I usually do, with me chin. I just thought, here's a bloke I can trust. Perhaps this time, no snags.
Can't we just
Go on like this, till we're drawing our old age pension. No love. I'm sorry, Len. That's it. The show's over.
Bet's number one hatred about men is being used by them, especially as a bit on the side. In 1976, Bet meets Mike Baldwin, who bought the factory. Full of his Cockney accent and charm, Bet even agreed to move in with him. The first challenge Bet had to face regarding this arrangement was Annie.
Come in.
You wanted to see me, Mrs. Walker?
Yes, sit down, Bet. I was wondering when you were coming. Now, from what I heard earlier in the barn, there was no question of eavesdropping. It seems that you are contemplating sharing Mrs. Caldwell's old house with Mr. Baldwin. Is that correct?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
In a manner of speaking. Oh, that could well be prophetic, because there's going to be a great deal of talk. I expect you realise that.
There already has been.
I'm not surprised. What I am surprised at is that you should take such a step without consulting me.
I didn't realise I had to. It's a private matter.
Oh, come. Don't be so naive. You must have realised that I couldn't countenance a member of my staff living 3 doors away in circumstances like that. The Rover's Return has a reputation, and one doesn't want to see it tarnished.
Tarnished?
I don't think it's too strong a word.
You know, I'm surprised at you, Mrs. Walker. I expected you to say summat, but not like this. Not after the way you were with Lucille when she moved in with her boyfriend. And I mean, Ken Barlow and his married lady friend weren't exactly barred from the premises, were they?
Ken Barlow can't be spoken of in the same breath. Regrettably, one has to accept unorthodox behaviour from, or how shall I put it, the intelligentsia.
I see. Well, I'll accept the insult.
It wasn't intended as an insult.
Well, not to worry, I'll accept it anyway. And I really am surprised. I had you down as being dead modern and dead broad-minded.
Bet, this is a serious matter. And I want it to be taken seriously. Unless you're just...
Taking the mickey?
Well, I suppose that is the expression, yes.
Yes, it is, and no, I'm not. I really did think you were more with it. I thought you might have been worried about me.
Well, that is an aspect.
But I didn't think you'd give a toss about what other folks said. Still, if that's the way you feel and you want me to leave...
I do not want you to leave. Nor do I want to be thought of as an old-fashioned prude. I simply want to stem the stupid gossip that's bound to arise if people take the wrong idea.
Or the right idea?
Or the right idea. What exactly is the right idea? What exactly is your arrangement with Mr. Baldwin?
Well, it's simple enough. Now, he wants somewhere to stay while he's up here. He couldn't find anywhere handier than Mrs. Caldwell's old place. Now, he's seen my flat and he knows it's grotty, so he's asked me to move in with him. And I think he's right. He'd be daft to leave that place empty half-week.
You'd keep the house clean for him?
Yes.
Do the shopping?
Be daft if he did it himself.
He certainly would, with the housekeeper to do it for him. And that, in effect, is what you'd be?
Yes. You could say that.
Say it.
All right. I'm his housekeeper.
Now, would you care for a sherry, dear?
Does she never ask you what you get up to when you're up here on your own?
No.
Trust you, does she?
Suppose she must do.
I'd not trust my husband. Not as far as I could throw him.
Well, Anne's never had reason to distrust me.
Clever, are you? Or careful?
Both.
Yes, I bet you. What's up? Have they run out of vintage champagne or something?
Hey, I've got an unexpected visitor.
Your wife?
2 out of 2.
It's not, is it?
It is.
Still. Who else would you ditch me for?
Look, I didn't know she was coming. She phoned me up 10 minutes ago. She wants me to pick her up at Piccadilly Station.
You better get your skates on then, aren't you?
Didn't expect Anne to come swanning up here, did I? She has, and now we've got to be sensible and cope with the situation.
Right. What do I do? Borrow Elder Ogden's rollers and make like I'm the char?
Clear off, love.
I hope I didn't hear what you just said.
Well, what am I supposed to do? She's bound to want to see me country cottage. She does know I've got a place up here.
But not an housekeeper. I'm one mod con you've not mentioned.
Look, she may be that tolerant, but no wife's that bloody tolerant.
Can I have a word, love?
Yes.
Is Mike coming back for that drink, or isn't he?
I've no idea.
Well, what did he say to you just now?
When?
I'm not an idiot. I mean, he slips out with some excuse about making a phone call. And a couple of minutes later, you slip out as well. Now, I don't know what you've been cooking up, but I would like to know if he's going to come back and face the music, or whether I've got to go looking for him.
Look, Mrs. Baldwin, I have no idea where your husband is, and I certainly didn't go out to meet him just now. But what's so flaming funny?
What did you just say? My husband? You've got to be joking. Is that what he told you? That... My God, he's a cunning...
Are you trying to tell me that you're not married? You're not his wife?
I'm in the same boat as you are, my love. A friend, companion, mistress, housekeeper. Everything except wife.
But the kids, what about his kids?
Not his, they're mine. The kids were on the scene a long time before Mike appeared. He's like a father to them, sort of. But he's not their dad.
All this time he's been laughing himself sick telling me he's married. Oh, my God.
I'll tell him what you think of him, shall I?
No. You tell him what you think of him. I'll tell him what I think of him later.
Yeah, but I'm a bit busy. I've got a few things on, yeah.
You are a lousy, stinking rat, Baldwin. I've met a lot of rats in my life. In fact, I spend my time waiting for the next rat to come out of the next sewer. But you are the biggest, dirtiest rat to date.
That it?
It just about sums up the way I feel, yes.
You know your trouble, don't you, Ben? You like rats. If you didn't like rats, you wouldn't be interested in...
You would think Bet had learned her lesson. Her next relationship becomes more complicated. Perhaps she was looking for a bit light-hearted relief when she hooked up with this guy.
Me?
You're one of nature's touches, you.
Well, you can't go against your nature, can you, kid? Warm-hearted, you see. Impulsive. I like to show me affection.
I bet I can guess your favourite way of showing it and all.
Still baffles me, you know, how a knockout-looking bird like you doesn't have the fellas knocking the door down.
Oh, they do, love. The trouble is, most of them seem to be married.
Oh, well, that's it, you see. You're a mature fella, my age. Well, he's bound to be married, isn't he? That's if he's any cop at all, that is.
Do you know, there's a lot of truth in that, although I hate admitting it.
We could make great music together, you know, you and me.
Hey, do you fancy a sing-song? Tell you what, you set off, I'll join in.
Come on, you know what I'm on about.
I do know that you're very restless and you can't settle.
I can't help it, I'm drawn to you. It's like magnetism. I'm like a little nail drawn to a lump of iron.
Well, that's a nice comparison. I'm very flattered.
Honest, I fancy you strong.
Could you fancy a cup of tea stronger?
Look, it's straight up this. I think you're a cracker, and I could go a bundle on you. I've studied here at Rovers, and we suit each other. We're the same kind of animal. And I think we'd be good together.
Don't know why you married him, Vera. He's not even got hairy shoulders.
Now listen here, you. I'm going to
You
warn you.
are a flaming hypocrite, Vera. Me. Fred.
Yes,
Me, I'm an hypocrite.
Go up, Mrs. Duckworth, off the
Am
premises.
I? It's sauce for the goose, Vera. That's why you don't like it, love.
Get that to the gutter, you, where you crawl
Come
from.
on, Vera, let's
Yeah, go on.
Now, quiet.
Yeah, you think this is a laugh, don't you?
Come on, cool it,
Well,
Vera,
you
will
laugh
ya?
on the other side of your face,
Come
don't you?
on, Vera, let's have...
Get off me!
Come on, out you go.
I won't ask for an explanation.
Good.
But I will not tolerate that kind of exhibition.
Well, let's hope it doesn't bring a migraine on, shall we?
What's that supposed to mean?
It means forget it, Mrs. Walker. Vera has just found out she's not the only team in the league what's playing away.
Well, I don't know the ins and outs, and I do not want to. But I blame you for attracting that kind of scene into my bar. And if it happens again, your job will be in the balance.
Oh, great. Put that about. She'll be back like a shot, if that's what you want.
Hey, Lynch. Are you having it off with her jack or something?
Oh. Fred, keep that out, will you? You might just catch it on an handbag.
You know, I don't understand you, Lynch. I don't understand you at all. I mean, you know very well I'm available. I mean, what's he got that I haven't?
Oh. Right, Lynch, you've got him. You can have his dirty washing.
Let's get this straight, Duckworth, while we've got a few witnesses. I haven't got him, I never had him, and I wouldn't want him if he was flaming well gold-plated. I felt sorry for him, like I'd feel sorry for any fella that was saddled with something like you. And that is as far as it went. So you can take his dirty washing, and yourself, and get out of here. And don't go looking for him at my place, because he isn't there. He wasn't there last night, he won't be there tonight, or any other night. But if you want him back, take a tip from me. Go and look on a rag of bone cart next to the donkey stones and the goldfish, because that's the only place that would be fit for one of your cast-offs. Perhaps you'd finish Eddie's order off for me, Mrs. Walker, because if I don't get out of here, you'll be wiping blood up off the floor.
Bette Lynch's romance went up and down like a yo-yo, but the one most important thing in her life was the Rover's return.
Frame. Another for me, another for you.
Oh, come on, let's do it proper.
My brain won't work this time of the morning.
No.
I thought of getting one of them pocket calculators. But I mean, we're not having any pockets. Where would I keep it?
Another dead mouse down there.
Oh, probably drunk itself to death. Did it have a smile on its face?
Oh, here, have a look at it.
Oh, no, Fred. Oh, you haven't.
I'm only kidding. I'll throw it in the dustbin.
Oh, it won't worry me, Fred. I'm used to seeing all sorts of vermin crawl up them cellar steps.
Right, the next one I get, Lynch, you can have.
Any friend of yours, Fred.
Right, come on. £2 a piece, and I'll put the rest back in here, look.
Chips, is it better enough?
It is.
Oh, cheers.
There's no need to thank me. I know what you're thinking. But There's no need.
Flaming right.
What do we want to thank you for, love?
Well, let's face it, Betty. The majority of tips that come in here are from fellas, aren't they? Fellas who've left their wives at home. Yeah. They come in here, they want to look at something attractive while they're waiting for a pint.
Can't believe their eyes, most of them.
What is it you're trying to say? Now, come on, spit it out.
Well, only that 2/3 of what goes in that pot comes from me.
Oh, so now we know, don't we?
But, I mean, I don't mind sharing. Some of us have it and some of us haven't.
I tell you what you have got, lady. You've got some cheek.
Oh, leave it out, Betty.
A smile from me.
Oh.
Have one yourself, this Ebet, for bringing a bit of glamour into our lives.
Oh, give over. Look, there are folks that tip and there are folks that don't. It doesn't matter who's behind the bar.
Oh, I don't know, Betty. I think most folk notice the difference.
Yes, well, let's see you work your charms on your next customer.
Yes, Hilda.
A light tail, please, Chuck.
Right. Did you say have one yourself?
You are.
It's a thing folks say sometimes, Hilda. Have one yourself, Bet, they say.
Oh, do they? About time you started returning the compliment then, isn't it? Buying 1 or 2 back for them of us this side of the bar.
That's 90p.
And will you join us, Betty?
Oh, thank you. Oh, it is kind of you. Thank you.
Cheers, lovely.
Oh, and a 1.
What? New system.
What new system?
Separate glasses. Then we'll see who contributes what, won't we?
Fred.
What?
Have you seen this carry-on?
What?
Any tips you get from now on, into your own glass.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no, I've been told that you two do all the work, so you'll have nothing to worry about, will you?
Which one of these is yours, or needn't we bother to ask?
No point in false modesty. 1 large scotch for 1 large-hearted fella.
She's trying to be funny.
No, I'm just trying to give a first-class service, as usual, with a merry quip and a smile.
I'll settle for the scotch. There. And,
yeah?
packet of peanuts.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, take one for yourself while you're at it.
God bless you, sir.
You make it very obvious.
And it's Bet into an early lead.
You'll put folk off coming in, you will.
What are you doing with them glasses?
Oh, don't worry, Betty. I've just labelled them, that's all. Then there can be no mistake which tips belong to who and who's a which.
I see you've come in done up to the 9s again. I wonder why.
Oh, it's not to influence folk to tip me, Betty. No, I don't need fine feathers, just my sunny personality.
Why are you looking like a flipping cockatoo, then?
Very good, that, Betty. You don't mind if I don't laugh now, do you? I'll save it till later, when I, when I've trapped my finger in a door, when I really need something to buck me up.
Falling out, are we?
Hilda, I wish you'd stop creeping about like a nervous rat catcher.
Well, what's the row about? I thought you two was as close as your front teeth.
It is not a row, Hilda. Just a bit of healthy competition to see who gets the most tips in this place.
Well, I don't even qualify for tips, do I? I'll tell you what it is, shall I? Then what do the important jobs? Your bedroom boys like me. We're ignored, forgotten. Oh, no, it's your pump handles what get all the notice.
Pump handles?
Hey, and I'll tell you something else on all, Lynch. If there was more women coming this place than there is fellas, it'd be me that'd be raking in the tips, no danger. I'm going up the street.
No excuses, Fred. We'll see at the end of the day who's got the biggest fan club.
Bet.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Walker. It's a lovely day. One you could almost put in a frame.
I hope that this rivalry about tipping doesn't get out of hand. It could lead to unseemly behaviour.
As if, Mrs. Walker. It's just a bit of fun.
A gin and tonic. And I'll tell you what, get one for yourself.
Thank you very much, Vera. You're a very, very generous person.
I'm only offering to buy a drink, love, not a poodle parlour.
She makes me sick.
Anybody can make tips being smarmy like that.
Somehow I don't think you could, Fred.
Oh, dear. Fred, seeing as Mrs. Turpin isn't speaking to me, would you ask her where the float is for tonight? There doesn't appear to be one. And it is her job as chief bar person to see that we have one. Mind you, we could always use my tips as a float.
Where's the float, Betty?
Tell Miss Lynch that Mrs. Walker will be bringing it through.
Well, come on, Fred, relay the message.
Look, get naughty, will you two? If you want to play silly beggars, get on with it, but count me out.
Oh, spoken like a man, Fred.
Good evening, sir. What's your pleasure?
Scotch, double.
Do you take it neat or with water?
Well, neat, like always.
Just making absolutely sure. You can serve him if you like. He's a certain tip.
Wouldn't lower myself.
You spoke to me, Betty.
Ah, but I won't say anything nice to you.
I hope you find that satisfactory, sir.
Yeah, I hope I do. All right, have one yourself.
Would a gin and tonic be all right?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I'll have it later if you don't mind.
What's wrong with her tonight?
Oh, it's the battle of the tips, isn't it? And Bet seems to be firing the most bullets, as usual.
Fred, would you ask Mrs. Turpin why she's glaring at me?
Hey, do that once more. Just once!
All I was doing was putting my tips in my glass as we decided.
You were gloating, like you have been doing all day. Every time anybody's giving you a tip, you were gloating. I don't. You've fawned and preened like a big soft dog.
You look marvellous when you're jealous, Betty.
You won't look so marvellous with a thick ear. That is quite enough. Now, I want a word with both of you, please, and with you, Fred. I warned you, didn't I, Bet, that this business would get out of hand?
Well, all I was doing was my job, which apparently seems to upset some folk.
Well, I'm not involved, see, Mrs. Walker.
That may be, Fred, but you do work here, and you were in agreement with everybody to put their own tips into those ridiculous glasses. Now, it was obvious to me from the start that this scheme could only end in unseemly competition. That some of you would be delighted, would revel in it, in fact, and that others would take the opposite of you. While for you, Fred, you simply hadn't got a dog's chance.
Well, thanks very much.
Well, it has got to stop. From now on, all tips will be shared. That is the only way.
Well, I'm happy the way things are.
Well, I'm not.
I mean it. And you must find somewhere else to have your ego trips, because you are not having them here.
Well, I've proved my point anyway.
Don't we know it? Elizabeth? I should think so.
Well, we're not going to start sharing till tomorrow.
I wouldn't touch your money with the barge pole.
Well, I would. I'm 2 knicker down already.
Oh, shut.
Still ahead on tonight's News at 10 Bet Lynch special. More of the stories on the Queen of the Street. Join us both after the break.
Saying you got something for me, something you call love, but confess you've been a messing where you should have been messing, and now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Welcome back. Annie Walker always had trouble with her employees at the Rovers return. After yet another disagreement, Betty walked out. Annie saw Bet has management potential. When she went away for a little while, she left Bet in charge.
Bye, Heck, you lower the tone of this place, don't you?
You speaking to me, Hilda, or were it just your corsets rubbing together?
Still not dressed at this time of day. Mrs. Walker'd turn in her grave if she wasn't at her Jonies.
And she's left me in full charge, hasn't she? So I'll stop undressed all day if I've a mind to.
What's that on your face, plaster of Paris?
It's a face pack, Hilda. You put it on, you take it off, and you're all bright and beautiful.
Oh. Don't work, does it?
You're tired of living, Hilda? Because if you don't arrange to be on your way, I shall arrange for my thumbs to meet across your throat.
You know, I think it's the life you lead myself. Well, it's bound to take its toll, isn't it? Fags, booze, fellas. Ruin a cart horse with that.
Hilda.
I mean, this new girl's not that much younger than you, really, is she? I bet she doesn't put all that stuff on her face to look bright and beautiful. See you later.
Not if you're wise, you won't.
Oh, hello. Oh, you're an early bird.
Well, you've got to show her willing, haven't you? Especially when you're new.
That's more than your gaffer does.
Why? What's wrong with her?
Thought you were going, Hilda.
See what I mean?
Morning. What kept you up all night?
I've had a very good night, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I thought...
You thought what?
Nothing. I've just remembered. It's first time I've ever seen you in your natural state.
I look no worse than you did, lady, morning you come to see Mrs. Walker about a job here.
Oh, now, Bet, be fair. I know I weren't looking my best that morning, but if I'd looked like you do now, Mrs. Walker wouldn't even have seen me without a bodyguard.
Your days are definitely numbered, love.
There you are, gentlemen. Service with a smile.
And the rest, darling.
Now, keep it clean.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Have one yourself.
Gin and tonic, all right?
Money well spent.
Of course.
How about that?
All right, Alf, control yourself. Chap of your age leering, it's a bit obscene, isn't it?
Hey? Oh, hello, Bet. She's very attractive, isn't she?
If you like that time.
I do.
Alf,
Hmm?
next time we need a barmaid, remind me to tell Mrs. Walker not to take any recommendation of yours. You're at a very funny age. Which one of them two's drinking gin, then?
None of them, I am.
You'll be putting your money in the till?
Mike's paid for it.
Bit naughty, that, isn't it? Stinging him for a gin.
He didn't complain. He never does. Cheers.
Cheers. When's your night off, darling?
Dunno, I'll have to ask why.
Oh, now, come on, don't be coy.
Me, coy? You must be joking.
Is that a promise?
Be careful, darling. He's after your honour.
I should hope so.
It's not a competition, you know.
What in?
Between us as to who can look the smartest.
I always wear this kind of gear.
No, not anymore. I'd prefer you to wear something plainer, if you don't mind. There's been complaints.
Oh, yeah. OK, you're the boss.
She don't believe in hiding much, does she? Oh, don't worry. I've taken care of that.
I was asking her when her night off was.
Oof, round about Christmas, I should think, if she's still breathing.
What's she really like? I mean, you hear so many different stories.
Well, she's got all fellas going anyway, including Ray.
Oh.
I think that's what's got Bet bugged.
Well, bound to. She likes to think she's the belle of the Rovers, does Bet?
Well, she's had her nose pushed out this time, that's for sure.
Well, does this suit? Well?
Very fetching, Dawn, love. Very fetching. What do you say, Alf?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, they seem to like it.
Here. Found out when your night off is?
Don't rush me.
Well, what about after work, then, like, tonight?
I've just about had it up to here with this one.
Oh. Does that mean you don't get on with her?
She thinks she's God's gift. She does.
Is she not up to the job?
Oh, she's up to the job, all right. She'd be up to a lot of things given half the chance. Oh, no, she can do the job. No. But it's the way she does it. Bracing isn't the word. I don't know what Mrs. Walker's thinking about. She just lowers the tone of the place completely.
How long do you think she's going to last?
As long as I let her. Because one of these days, like tomorrow, I'm going to let her know.
I know what my job is, and it don't include cleaning out lavs.
Hey, they're spotless, them lads, spotless.
Well, if you won't do that and you won't serve ale, what will you do? A striptease on the bar top? Because you're halfway there as it is.
Oh, is that what's upsetting you? Well, I might just do that, mightn't I?
She'll not go all the way, you know. She'll not take her wig off.
I don't wear a wig. You're raving. You're demented with jealousy, aren't you?
Don't make me laugh.
He gave you the elbow, didn't he, Mike Baldwin?
I'll give you the elbow, love. I'll give you more than you bargained for.
Don't kid yourself. You haven't got what it takes. Ask Mike.
Now, girls, come on, come on.
You cheap little cow. Do you think I'm interested in who's doing you favours? Do you know, I've decided I will have that wig off your head.
Don't try it. If you want to be queen of this flea-bitten little castle, you can keep it, because I can still do better for myself. I mean, if this tutty little hole in the corner is your idea of heaven, it ain't mine. So clean out your own lavs.
Right. Hilda, do you mind stepping down the street and telling Betty there's a vacancy? Now, who's next?
Annie Walker retired in 1984 and signed over the Rovers to her son Billy. Billy then sold to the Newton and Ridley Brewery. Beth then decided to apply for the job as manageress of the Rovers Return.
I've got my interview at brewery.
You're really having a go for that, are you? I didn't think you were serious about it.
Why shouldn't I be?
Aye, why not? Good luck to you, kid.
Only you don't think I've got a cat in hell's chance, do you?
Listen, it doesn't matter what I think. It's not up to me.
Aye, I know, you're right, though. Every so often I think to myself, Lynch, you must have left your brains on a low light or something, because you've not got a snowballs. I know.
Well, you're having a go all the same. Good for you.
Well, I look at Captain Bligh. I call him Captain Bligh, you know, Lewis, and I think, if he can run a pub, I can run a pub. Because there's nought to him, really, except a case of the big I am. And when I think about it, maybe that's not such a bad disease to have.
But you've no training.
No training. No training? I was pulling pints before I was legally old enough to sup 'em, and I've been doing it ever since. I have given myself body and soul to the public house trade. There's not a lot I don't know about pubs, and there's not much I don't know about customers either. No training? Can you spare Mavis for the rest of the day? Because if you go on talking like that, Mavis, I'm going to go in there this afternoon and eat 'em alive.
Do you know, you're the first barmaid I can ever remember applying for a pub. I'm interested in what put the idea into your head.
Well, I think as long as Mrs. Walker had been there, it never would have done. I'd have been happy being a barmaid forever. But what with her going and other people coming, I'm not saying anything against anybody. It's just that I know I can do the job as good as them any day. Suddenly I'm thinking, I don't just want to be a barmaid forever. So...
Have you ever had anything remotely like that kind of experience?
No, I've just always worked in pubs, that's all.
Have you had any experience with accounts, even in a club or society?
No. But I can add up as good as anybody.
No, there's more than adding up. There's stock control, VAT accounts, cellar work.
Look, I know what's involved. Really, I do. When I say I've always worked in a pub all my life, well, there's more to it than that. It's just that I can't ever see myself ever doing aught else. Me behind a bar. I'm in the element. I'm like Santa Claus in his grotto. It's true. I am, really. And I'll tell you something else that's true. If I'm behind a bar, well, I'm in charge of that pub. I am. Barmaid and all. I set the tone, I do. I can't help it. I've done relief for people, and customers have said to me, do you know it's a different pub with you here? Now, you really will think I'm being big-headed.
No. No, I want to hear you sell yourself. Now, if the Rover's Return were to be your grotto, what would you do with it?
In the way of changing it, you mean?
Well, it's not the most wicked establishment in the world.
No, it isn't. But I reckon that the folk who drink there, that's the way they like it. You can change it all you like, but you'll not sell a lot more ale.
And selling more of our product, Miss Lynch, is why we're in business.
Yes, I know it is. But finding ways of selling more is very hard. Finding ways of selling less is very easy. I mean, a new landlord, he don't need to change out except the atmosphere. And the regulars will disappear in droves. We've all seen it.
And if you were to take over the Rover's Return, you'd think they'd stay, do you?
Maybe you best ask them.
Well, maybe they've saved me the trouble.
Sorry?
Well, don't you know about this?
I'm sorry, love, you've got me there.
Well, it's a petition, I suppose you'd call it, from some of the regulars at the Rover's Return. Quite a lot of them.
They've not.
You didn't know about it?
No idea. I wish they hadn't, that's all. And I'm not going to read all them names in case I find myself trying to work out who's not there.
Well, they seem to want you to take over.
Special effort today, Hilda. We're having a very important visitor. Sarah Ridley's calling round on us sometime this afternoon. She's coming round specially to have a chat with me. So let's have everybody on the ball, eh?
Any particular reason why she's coming?
Well, it's like her secretary says. She's got some important news for me. And she wants to tell me herself. Well, keep at it.
Sarah Ridley's secretary, eh? And Sarah's coming round herself, in the flesh, in person.
Yeah, well, that's not normal, is it? Must be somewhat up. Tell you what I think. I think she's coming round to give Gordon Lewis the nod.
Yeah, well, we always knew he'd get it, didn't we? If we weren't kidding ourselves.
Aye. I suppose we did.
Bet, come on, can you deal with him?
Come on, Jack. Be having you.
Just one last pint, that's all.
It's after time. You've got a window cleaning round waiting for you.
Not this afternoon, I've been rained off.
Rained off? The amount you've sucked, you should have been drained off.
I'll get Gordon Lewis, he'll shift.
We don't need Gordon Lewis. Now listen, Duckegg. If you don't shut up, sup up and shove off within the next 10 seconds, your love life could take a sudden turn for the worse. And you'll be talking in a very high squeaky voice for the rest of your natural.
Oh, good afternoon, Miss Ridley.
Afternoon. Hello, Bet. Hiya. Is Mr. Lewis about? He should be expecting me.
I think he's in the sitting room. Shall I get him?
No, it's all right. I'll get through.
Hey, aren't you from Brewery?
Leave it, Jack.
Just hang on. I applied for this pub manager lark here, which I could do standing on my head, and he never even gave me the decency of a reply.
Well, I'm sorry about that, and I'll certainly look into it, but I'm afraid the position's filled now.
Too late to apologise, too late. You have done yourself a thick 'un and lost a good man. In short, you give your trips a right drenching.
I'm sure you can cope, Bet.
Isn't that typical of me, eh? Showing myself up with her stood there.
Oh, I shouldn't worry about it, lovey.
Oh, who's worrying? It's only my job, innit?
I suppose a pint and a packet of crisps out of the question then.
Well, of course I know there's been a lot of uncertainty here at the Rovers lately. Ever since Mrs. Walker let go of the reins, in fact. But I hope the decisions we've made will change all that. Now, when we had the interviews the other day, Gordon, Mr. Lewis, made some interesting proposals for the changing and the development of the character of this place.
I can imagine.
But both George Newton and myself felt that the Rovers has had enough chopping and changing for a while. We want the Rovers to continue much as it is now. And that's mainly why we think you're the right person for the manager's job.
Me? You're not giving it to Gordon?
We'll be using Gordon's talents elsewhere. George and I both think that you can do a very good job here.
Are you having me on? Do you really mean it?
Yes, of course. I don't know why you're so surprised. You've not changed your mind about wanting the responsibility, I hope.
Oh, no. No, I've not changed my mind. It's just beginning to dawn on me, though. It's going to change things, this, isn't it? It's going to change all my life.
Cheers,
Yes,
my
love.
Cheers.
Yes.
Yeah, good luck, mate. All the best.
Yeah, I still can't believe it. Me, my own pub. I just know it's going to change my life somehow.
Nothing will change you, Don.
Ah, maybe not. But it's a funny feeling all the same. It's like a milestone in my life, do you know what I mean? As though nothing's ever going to be quite the same again. I feel as though I'm waving goodbye to something inside myself already.
You'll be a very good landlady.
Well, Sarah Ridley seems to think so. She said that I was ideally suited to the Rovers' return.
And you are. And what she meant was, this is a rough old pub, they need a rough old bird to take charge of it.
Oh, charming. Oh, you can laugh, Gordon. But he's right about one thing. I am in charge. Get it? Got it? Good.
Oh.
Cheers.
As Bet settled into life as new manager, theatrical agent Alec Gilroy entered Bet's life, and Bet at the time had her eyes set on two things: running her own pub and finding a fella who will treat her right.
Oh,
Well, here's to us.
to us.
Enjoyed yourself?
Do you know I have, Alec? I really have.
So, we get on all right, you and me, don't we?
Birds of a feather.
Suppose we are a bit when you get down to it. In fact, I'd like to think that we might, well, we might have a future together.
We might.
I mean, you don't meet many people in this life, do you, that you can really get on with it? At least I don't. Oh, I can talk to folk. I mean, talk to anybody, really.
Well, you have to in our line, don't you? Pubs, clubs.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not many where there's a real affinity, you know, a real understanding, and I think we've got that somehow.
Hmm. Talking about pubs, I know one thing.
What's that?
I'm glad we didn't meet up 5 years ago.
Why do you say that? Although I must admit, I feel younger now than I did 5 years ago. It was a bad time for me 5 years ago. But I'm sorry I interrupted. Go on.
Well, I was only a barmaid then, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't have had the same attraction, would I? I mean, come on, be honest.
You are joking, aren't you?
No, I'm telling the truth, Alec. There's no need to be scared of the truth. All troopers like us. We're hardly Romeo and flipping Juliet, are we? No. I mean, straight with you, Alec. I want you to be straight with me.
I don't believe this.
Well, I mean, now I'm a landlady, well, sort of. And you must be aware of that. I know I would be in your shoes, and, like we said, two of a kind.
You think I'm after you because of the pub?
No, all I'm saying, it comes into it where I'd be daft if it didn't.
Well, it's not true.
Oh, 5 years ago, you wouldn't have looked at me twice, admit it.
Look, I think I better go, Bet.
Hey, why? What's up?
What's up? What's up is I've grown very fond of you, Bet.
Yes, same here.
No, of you. Not the landlady of the Rovers, of you.
Well, it don't matter then, forget it.
What do you mean, doesn't matter? No, come on, you think I've been dishonest with you.
No.
Well, I haven't, Bet. I don't want this pub, I never have. It's you I wanted.
Well, I haven't changed.
No, but I have.
Soon afterwards, Bet then apologised to Alec for offending him. And with a loan from Alec, she bought the tenancy of the Rovers' return, but she defaulted on the repayments and panicked. Bet then fled to Spain, to which Alec managed to track her down. Alec introduced a solution which would then put a smile back on Bet's face.
So, they're giving you the tenancy. You're to be the next landlord of the Rovers.
Aye, it's all settled.
Well, it's what you've always wanted, that, isn't it? Your name up over your own pub, where mine used to be. I wish you better luck than I have.
Well, though I say it myself, I've done very well in the Rovers the last couple of months. Well, the brewery know they're getting a good man.
Oh, aye, you'll do well. You're the type. And at least you'll not be starting off with a load of debt round your neck. That's what sunk me.
Yeah, well, I intend to make it the best little pub in the borough, Bet. You've got to grab your chances in life. This is mine.
Well, I had my chance and I blew it, didn't I? I'll not get my own pub again. Nor even as a manager. Blotted me copybook once too often this time, haven't I?
You said it, not me. Don't mind me asking, but I am asking as a friend. Have you thought what you'll do once you get back?
What's there to think about? My future's all mapped out, innit? I'll get a job behind a bar somewhere as a barmaid, till I drop and my feet give out, working for somebody else for the rest of my life.
Well, if you played your cards right, there is a way you could still have somebody else working for you. Me, for instance. And there is a way you could still have the Rovers.
What are you on about? How do you mean I could still have the Rovers?
It's obvious. If you were the landlord's wife, you could walk back in the place with your head high. Still be Queen of the May.
Oh, you care-lied. You've been on booze since breakfast time, you, haven't you?
Oh, I'm sober enough. I'm serious and all. I'm offering you marriage, Bet.
Oh, now give over.
No, go on, think about it. Just think about it. It's not a bad offer. And it's a genuine one. It makes a lot of sense. It'd suit me nicely, and like I say, you'd still be boss at the Rovers.
Do you know, I think you really mean it.
Certainly I mean it. I'm offering you marriage.
Pardon me for saying this, but I don't think I heard you mention the word love or anything similar. Did I miss it?
I'm not the exhibitionist type, but come to think of it, I don't think I even said I love my own mother. So, what do you say? I'm asking you to marry me. What's your answer?
I receive this ring as a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honor you. All that I am, I give to you.
With my body, I honor you. All that I am, I give to you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
Within the love of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Within the love of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
In the presence of God, and before this congregation, Elizabeth and Alexander have given their consent and made their marriage vows to each other. They have declared their marriage by the joining of hands and by the giving and receiving of a ring. I therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife. That which God has joined together, let man not divide.
Well, go on. Kiss me.
Now, let us go to the registrar to sign the register.
Well, she's been and gone and done it.
Yeah.
Ivy. What? I feel sick. Oh.
What's wrong with Vera?
Oh, she gets over emotional at weddings, Mr. Baldwin.
Hey, what's this they're playing? Oh, Perfect Love.
Did you say something?
Never said a word.
All of Beth's friends were amazed and delighted to see Beth and Alec tie the knot. Their relationship grew and became a lot closer together.
I went very fat in the face last time. I had at least 3 chins.
Oh, for God's sake, don't start getting morbid about it already, Bet.
Well, it might be already to you. My body's been changing for 10 weeks now.
10 weeks? How can you be that precise?
Because my little short, fat, hairy-legged friend, I think I can remember precisely when it happened.
When?
Do you remember that night when we went to the little gem club? There was a full moon. You kept leaping about saying that you felt immortal. I thought it was the half bottle of brandy you'd sucked, but no, it must have been the sap rising.
A little gem club. I remember that. We were a night and a half with that. So it must be mine.
Yes, love.
Yes.
When you stop grinning like a melon, are we going to keep the happy event to ourselves, or are you going to throw a party at the Piccadilly and announce it there?
Oh, no, let's just keep it to ourselves. I mean, for as long as it's practical.
You are embarrassed about it, then?
No, it's just the longer we keep it to ourselves, the fewer the opportunities for the likes of Jack Duckworth to smirk and make nappy jokes. Oh, God, you know it's going to undermine me image and me authority as this lot, you know. It'll be even worse when I pull my hanky out of my pocket and a couple of flaming rusks fall out.
You're not going to change shape in sympathy are out, you know. Although I believe it's not unheard of for the father to have morning sickness as well.
Really? I did feel a bit liverish this morning.
Mm. There you have it.
We're short of small change, love.
10 quid's worth of silver over there.
Oh, right. Ta. Enjoy your dinner.
After. I'm eating for 2.
What did you say?
I meant family way, love.
You?
Well, don't look so flipping gobsmacked. Yeah, me.
I don't believe it.
It's true. Medical science has confirmed it.
When?
Well, I'm 2 months gone, so it's sometime in October.
I don't know what to say, love. I mean, I'm pleased.
Ah, more shell-shocked.
Well, you will be. I mean, how about him?
Grumpy? Well, he's wandering about bemused, as you've obviously noticed.
Still, a baby.
It's a miracle, more like.
Well, congratulations, lovey. That I mean that. From my heart, lovey.
Thanks, Betty. Love. Will you keep it to yourself for now?
Yeah, of course I will. Eat as much of that oppet as you want, lovey. Oh, you're a bit of a dark horse, aren't you?
Eh?
Daddy?
What the hell's going on?
Right?
You've told Betty.
Oh, well, I had to tell somebody, Alec. I mean, I was bursting. Betty won't blab.
You know what she called me?
What?
Daddy.
Well, yeah.
You know, I've had a lot of dreams, Bet. Some of them fulfilled, most of them not.
Marrying me were.
Yeah. Yeah, it were. Mind you, I never dreamt of having kids. I mean, they're a sort of alien species to me. I mean, not quite human till they've turned 21.
They can be a great joy, Alec. Take my word for it.
I suppose so. And mind you, I mean, if it's a boy, I mean, he'll continue the line, won't he? Another Alec Gilroy in the world.
Yeah.
And I mean, and of course, not everybody can manage it, you know.
Oh, that's very true.
Oh, it is, it's true.
It is true.
Yeah. You know something? I think I'm warming to this idea.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Because I definitely am love.
Daddy.
Daddy.
Bloody incredible. Are you asleep?
No.
Bed. You should be in bed, you know.
I've told you. I don't want to go to bed.
Yes, but you should be resting. I mean, you've got to go careful.
And it's too late for going careful.
You know, I didn't realise. I didn't think it had hit me as hard as it has. I mean, when you said you were expecting, well, I can't pretend I was overjoyed.
No?
Well, not at first. But it grew on me.
I know.
And now? Don't take no notice of me, love. As long as you're all right. That's what really matters.
Oh, I'm right enough, love.
Well, then.
Anyway, you'd have looked a right herb at pushing a pram.
You're right, I suppose, now you mention it.
But they spoiled it rotten, you know. They always do, old parents.
Hey, not so much of your old.
Well, we're all for bringing kids up. Anyway, what sort of life would it have had round here? Growing up in a backstreet pub. I wanted it, you know. I wanted it right from the first minute I knew I'd caught. Still, you don't always get what you want, do you? So that's that.
I got what I wanted when I got you. And shall I tell you something else? I wouldn't swap places with any man in England. Not for a gold clock.
You are a little love. Right then.
Right. Ah, careful. Come. There you go. Now then, I tell you what. I'll bring you a hot drink up when you get in bed.
I'm not going to bed.
Eh?
We've got a pub to open in 5 minutes. That's what we do, me and you, kid. We run a pub. Let's get on with it, eh?
Coming up in part 3, we take you to 1992 and the rest of the best of Bet Lynch. And life after the Rovers, we go through Bet's 3 return storylines. Join us in part 3.
You keep lying when same and when you ought to be a changing. Yeah. Now what's right is right. You ain't been right yet. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
We start off part 3. As Bet said to Alec, let's get on with it, Bet and Alec didn't always appear together behind the bar. Whilst Bet was mostly involved with the Rovers, Alex went back to his theatrical agency, which made Bet more suspicious of the relationships he was having with his clients.
Yes, hello, Rover's return. I'm afraid he's not here at the moment. Can I tell him who's called? Do you know that name rings a bell? Would you be the lady that he met on the cruise? I believe he's mentioned you. Yes, of course, I can give him a message. This is Mrs. Gilroy you're speaking to. I'm sorry, love. Could you say that again? I'm a little bit hard of hearing.
Where's Jack? Only there's some stuff wants shifting in from the car.
Alec, if you're a bit nippy, there's somebody on the phone for you. I think they're still on. Bet's took it.
Oh, did they say who it was?
Well, it's a sherry somebody for you.
Did you want me, boss?
I'm not here. I'm not here.
And where have you been?
Yes. I went to the Cash and Carry. And then I went to Charlie Spender's.
Oh. You went to your drinking club, did you? With your show business friends?
Yes, well, I felt like a drink.
While you were out, your fancy woman rang up.
Now, listen, we've had all this fancy woman business. I'm sick of it. I've done nothing untoward with that woman. Nothing.
Can I give him a message, I said. Oh, she said, who am I speaking to? This is Mrs. Gilroy, I said. Oh, she said, you must be Alec's mother. Now, weren't that a funny thing for her to say?
Look, can't we just forget this woman?
Oh, she said, you must be Alec's mother.
Well, anybody could make the assumption. I mean, people say I'm young-looking.
Oh, aye, cradle snatcher, they call me. It didn't occur to her that Mrs. Gilroy might be your wife. Why's that, I wonder? Did somebody give her the idea you hadn't got one? Or was it this amnesia you've been telling me about?
No. I think I can see how this has come about.
I've got bad news for you. So can I.
No, please. I mean, you always do this, don't you? Always go start thinking the worst. No, I mean, it was just an ordinary thing that happens. No, I mean, what it's like on these cruises, they're all practically geriatrics. There's only the ship's cat that hasn't buried somebody.
Never mind the ship's cat.
No, listen, just let me tell you, will you? It's a topic that comes up. It was a conversation. I can bring it to mind. It was about scattering ashes. You know, people were just talking, you know, whether they'd scattered their loved ones or not bothered or kept the urn or what have you, you know. You know how it is. And I think I must have said something on the topic, and she said to me, "And are you a widower yourself, Mr. Gilroy?" And I said, "Yes, 'cause I am. I mean, I am." The fact that I didn't say I'd got married again was because the conversation had moved on, you know, the way it does.
You told her I was dead.
I never said you were dead, certainly not.
This is Mrs. Gilroy, I said. Oh, she said.
Don't keep going on. What do you keep saying that for?
You never told her I'd run off with your best mate. You didn't say I didn't understand you. You went telling her I was dead.
Look, Bet, I never said...
You told her I was dead.
It was a different world. Mind you, you'll appreciate that now you've seen this place.
That's as may be, but you seem to acclimatise very quickly.
Oh, I'm not saying I couldn't get used to it.
Hope I'm not interrupting. You must be Mrs. Watkins. We spoke on the phone.
Oh? Mrs. Gilroy?
Yes. And is my little lad looking after you?
Do you know, to tell you the truth, it's nice to meet one of his friends. Because you know what they can be like at his age. They don't like bringing the friends home to meet the mothers, do you not, eh?
Look, can I just have a word?
Look, smoking again. How many times do I have to tell you? You'll stunt your growth, you will. Do you know his father was 6'3"? And look at him. Tell me something, Cherry. It is Cherry, isn't it?
Yes.
You can settle an argument here. There's some say that he takes after his dad. I think he's got a look of me about him. What do you think?
Well...
Would you excuse us just a minute?
What does it matter as long as he loves his mother? And he does, you know, don't you? Come on, you can say it. Don't you love your mother?
All right, that's enough. I said that's enough.
Tantrums time again.
Look, I'm sorry. Sherry, I apologise. What can I say? There seems to have been a bit of a misunderstanding.
Yes, and I'm beginning to think I'm the one who's made it.
No, it's my fault. It's entirely my fault.
And have you cleaned your teeth this morning? You know, I send him up to the bathroom every morning. Do you know what he does? Shuts himself in and reads his Beano.
I said that's enough.
Oh. Do you mean I don't have to pretend anymore?
I mean, all you're doing is embarrassing our guests. That's all you're doing with this ridiculous performance.
Oh, so I can be your wife again, can I? Been raised from the dead, have I?
You're Alec's wife?
Normally, love, yes.
I'm very pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you and Alcott.
I'm sorry if there's been any misunderstanding.
Suggesting I was dead?
I did not suggest you were dead.
How else do you get to become a widower?
Look, will you let me speak? Can I speak?
Speak all you want.
You see, where the confusion's arisen, Sherry, this is my second wife. Whereas, in fact, it was my first wife who passed away.
I see.
Quite recently, actually, yes. So, when you and I met and, you know, we were talking and you asked me about my home circumstances, that must have been at the forefront of my mind.
He just forgot he'd remarried.
The sadness for Bet and Alec approached as Alec accepted a job on a cruise in Southampton and sold the Rovers back to the brewery. Bet couldn't bear to leave her home and broke the news to Alec that she would be stopping on as manager.
Wait. There's been naught but rush and aggravation today. I'm jiggered.
Alec?
I told you I'm shot.
I don't want to go.
Don't be so silly.
I'm sorry.
Now what are you talking about? It's all settled. I've told them I'm taking the job. I've done the deal with the brewery. We leave here on Friday. I mean, you've agreed everything all along the line.
I know I did.
Well then, let's have no more of this silly talk. It's all settled.
Alec, listen. I know what we said. And I know what I agreed to. But I don't want to leave here. I don't want to go.
Hey, you do know we've got to get everything packed up yet.
I know.
Well then, I don't know where you've been, but don't you think you'd have been better employed if
I've
you'd...
been to the brewery. To see that Richard Wilmore, who's taken over running the pub side.
See him about what?
I told you I didn't want to go, Alec. I'm sorry. I wish I did. I wish to God I did. But...
Yes, but we've had all this, haven't we? I know you're not altogether happy, but what's this got to do with the brewery?
I went to ask if I could stop on here.
Stop on?
As manager.
Oh, come on, Bet. For goodness sake.
And this Richard Wilmore, he says yes. He says I can.
No.
Yeah, he did, Alec. So I'm sorry. I'm not going with you. I can't. I just can't.
He said you could stop on here as...
Here.
This is the truth, is it?
Ring him if you don't believe me.
No. I believe you.
I'm sorry.
You choose not to come, and it'll be you walking out on me.
No, Alec!
Yes! I'll be the one leaving, but it'll be you walking out on me, walking out on our marriage, and I'll never forgive you for that, Bet. Never. So just know what it is you're going to do. Don't pretend this is about jobs or where we live, because it isn't. It's about our marriage and whether you're standing by me or whether you're walking out.
Excuse me, they're wondering when you're coming through.
When we're ready, Betty. So, what's it going to be?
I've already said.
You're walking out on me.
No! What's the use?
Where are you going?
Well, at least we can put a stop to that pantomime out there.
Bet.
I'm not going.
What? What she said. I'm not going. Right, well, I am.
Alec, don't. I don't want you to go.
When they ask you what happened, tell them the truth, won't you? It's not me that's walked out on you. It's you, Bet. It's you that's let me down.
Now Bet is manager again, running the Rovers during her next 3 years, with step-granddaughter Vicky, Raquel and Tanya as staff. Bet saw Raquel as a daughter. Bet, through his step-granddaughter Vicky, was taken for a ride by Steve MacDonald and decides to give Steve a good roasting.
Personally, I wouldn't trust you as far as I could throw you. And a little bird tells me that you've got another little bird on the side. Now, you don't have to say whether I'm well informed. I'll warn you. If you damage that little bird's wings, I shall pluck you, stuff you, and roast you. Give your mum my love.
As Bet was very loyal to Raquel, she sacked Tanya, but Tanya manipulated her way back behind the bar and played a nasty, cruel public stunt on Raquel, which resulted in Raquel absolutely heartbroken. Bet decided to send Tanya out of the pub with a hasty but downright honest opinion.
Hey, Ken, look at this. You've not seen this, have you? Hey?
Jack, I wish you wouldn't. You're showing me off.
Au contraire, c'est très joli, mademoiselle.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur.
Very nice.
Hey, Des. How do you think she looks?
Beautiful. She looks beautiful.
Yeah, well, it's always good to quit on a high.
Quit? Don't be silly. This year, Newton and Ridley. Next year, Arelli.
Sorry, Jack. She's packed it in because some London photographer told her she had no style, no poise, and no class. But what do they know, eh, Raquel? You know what they say? You can take the girl out to the back streets, but you can't take the back streets out of the girl.
You really are a grade A bitch.
Hush, lovey. Come on now, hush. It'll be all right.
You promised you wouldn't tell.
I didn't.
I wish I would.
Don't you ever talk like that.
Oh, it's true. How can I face them now they all know what a failure I am? I just feel so ashamed.
You're not the one who's got out to be ashamed of, Cock. Come on, come and sit down. Sit down, Raquel. Dry those eyes. Powder that button nose.
and I'll be right back.
Jack was embarrassing her. I was doing her a favour.
Out!
What?
You're poison, Tanya. Always were, and always will be. I was a fool to have ever given you a second chance. I want you out of here now. And I never want to see your evil little face in my pub ever again.
Alec made a short return to the Cobbles with granddaughter Vicky, and Tim and Bet were reunited briefly. Alec disapproved of Steve and Vicky's engagement and tried to bribe Steve into calling the wedding off.
If getting engaged to Steve MacDonald was such a wonderful idea...
Oh, she's thought of another objection now.
If it was such a wonderful idea, why did it have to be kept a secret?
Because I knew exactly how you would react and that you would be totally against it, which you are, so I was right, wasn't I?
Of course I'm against it.
Because you don't think he's good enough for me?
I know he's not.
Well, don't you think that I should be the judge of that?
No.
I'll make a start, shall I?
Hello, Bet. I didn't want to presume by walking through uninvited.
Well, would you like to walk through now?
I wouldn't mind, thank you very much.
Good to see you.
After you.
Would you like a drink?
Go on, I think I need one. It's a funny feeling being back in here.
Have you eaten?
As much as I need to, thanks. You know, you don't look a day older.
I'm not. I'm 3 years older.
How do I look?
Terrible. But then again, no worse than you always did. Haven't we both stuck in a time warp? Sugar?
2, please.
Feels funny being back, doesn't it, Vicky?
No.
Yes, but there's nothing like the sea to make you think of fresh opportunities.
Grandad, we're still getting married.
Eh?
Well, we're going to find a church tomorrow, aren't we?
Well, what's brought this up?
It's what's always been planned.
Well, you'll not get anything for the 18th now.
Maybe not the 18th, but we'll still find something.
Vicky, you're rushing into this. Just give it more thought.
We've given it more thought. That's why I went away, remember? Now, you said you wanted a proper wedding where you could give me away. Well, fine. Can we start planning it now, please?
But we'd really like your blessing, Alec.
Don't you come that with me. I know your game, you little...
Alec!
October 1995, Bet was told Newton and Ridley are selling 6 of their pubs, with the Rovers being one of them. She tried asking long-term friend Rita for a loan to buy the Rovers. Rita sounded keen originally, but Bet went telling all the neighbours Rita agreed to it. Alf Roberts advised Rita not to go into business because Bet did not earn a profit to her name. Bet and Rita then exchanged harsh words in the cabin.
We've cracked it, Kit. They've come down £2,000. You mean they only want £66,000 now? It's the first for them. Newton and Ridley never barter. It's a well-known fact. No. Can we discuss this upstairs? We'll crack this open while we're at it to celebrate. I'll fetch you a glass down, Maeve. How's the tooth, love? Look, don't you think you're jumping the guns a bit, Bet? Well, I know now it's signed and sealed yet, but it's as good as. Not as far as I'm concerned. What? I've had the world and his wife in here today telling me what I'm going to be doing before I know what I'm going to be doing myself. I don't appreciate that. Well, what's the big secret? You'd already said you'd back me. I said I'd think about it, and I have. I'm sorry, Bet. It's not on. You dropping out? I made no promises. You let me go to the brewery and make a total fool of myself.
I asked you to wait until I had a proper chance to look at the figures.
I've got the books over the road.
I've done all the sums I need.
Oh, aye? Mrs. High and Mighty all of a sudden?
Which is more than can be said for you.
Excuse me. I've run that flaming pub on my Todd for years.
Yes, and not made a penny from it. Well, have you? Unless you're keeping something from me.
Are you saying that I'm lying? Do you think I've got thousands of pounds
don't
stashed
talk
away? Is
daft.
that it? I only wish to God I had. You can see my statements if you want. What is this, Rita? What's going on?
Look, you're wanting me to put up thousands of pounds. I'm entitled to ask you why you haven't any savings if this pub of yours is such a wonderful business proposition.
Don't you come the high and mighty with me, lady. You'd not be stood there with a bulging bank balance if you hadn't flaming married it.
Yes. Why don't you go... Len left me a tatty little shop. But it was me who worked my guts out over there. Me that opened this place.
It was
and
Len's
built this
cash
up.
what got you started. But for him, you'd have been nowt but a clapped-out chorus girl.
Better than a clapped-out barmaid.
Talk about fair weather pals. I should have known better than turn to you.
Nobody pours thousands of pounds down the drain, no matter how good pals they are.
Pals? Pals? You don't know the meaning of the word.
Ed, I'm sorry.
But you won't change your mind.
No.
Then I'm the one that's sorry, cock. Sorry I ever asked.
Things got worse as Bet tried asking Vicky for a loan, but Vicky refused and said no. Bet was angry, especially when she let Vicky live rent-free for 4 years with her in the Rovers shortly after Bet decided enough is enough and threw everyone out hastily and decided after 25 years to leave Weatherfield.
Really am sorry.
You and me both, Tink. But I am asking a heck of a lot.
Well, who else could you ask? I'm the closest you've got to family. And you're the closest I've got.
Bless you, love.
You couldn't be less like my mum. But in some ways, you have taken her place.
Oh, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't want to.
Well, it's not the same. I mean, she was the sort of gentle, thoughtful type, and you're quite frightening at first. But you've got a heart of gold.
They do say that.
I don't always agree with you. I don't always think you're right. But what I do know is there isn't an ounce of malice in you.
All right, Tink, don't go on.
I mean it.
Thank you.
Anyway, what's important is that you're going to be kicked out of here. So you're going to be homeless.
Homeless and jobless, so no doubt legless for a night or two.
So, I'm going to buy you a small house. I think it's a very good time to buy property, and the market's bound to turn the corner soon. And it wouldn't be like investing in your business, which, as I've already said, I don't really want to do. But if I buy property and you pay me nominal rent, then you'll have security, I'll have an investment. But most of all, I'll have my Bet just where I want her. I've spoken to Steve about this, and he's fine.
He is?
Yeah. So you think about it. Whatever you do, don't thank me. I do owe this to you. Now, formal invitation. Dinner with Steve's mum and dad at our place next week. It's our flat warming. That'll give you enough time to think about what sort of place you want, and we can talk about it then.
I'll be busy next week. But I think it's a good idea to buy a small house. Like you say, property's cheap. It's bound to move before long. And so long as you've got somebody in paying rent, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't have to be me.
Yes, but I want it to be you. That's the whole point.
No, the whole point is your investment. Get somebody dependable in. Make sure your rent's secure.
Bet, I'm offering to buy you a home.
When you found yourself an orphan, I gave you a home. Daft, aren't I? I didn't think about investment. I could have had 4 years' rent by now.
Come on, that's not fair.
I know, cheap. Below the belt. It's the company I keep.
Why are you being like this? I can't do more than offer to buy you a house.
Get out of here, Vicky.
What?
Go on.
I offered to buy you a house and you tell me to get out.
Aren't I strange?
You're ungrateful.
And can you hear this tone in my voice? Bitter and self-pitying. I don't like it any more than you do. But you see, I can pay rent to anyone. Go now, please, Vicky.
I don't understand. What have I done?
Nout.
This is because I wouldn't invest in the Rovers, isn't it? Bet I don't believe in the Rovers. I don't believe that it's viable.
And who are you anyway? Granddaughter of a man I once wed? You owe me nout. Go now, please, Vicky.
Well, I don't owe you £66,000.
I said, go.
She said herself. Well, you look better.
I thrive on disappointment. I asked you to go, Vicky.
I did.
When I said go, I meant go.
Yes, but you didn't mean
Oh, yes, I did. And what have we got here? Little Steve MacDonald. How very satisfying the times I've wanted to pitch you out.
Look, Vicky owes you nothing.
Shut up and go.
I bought this drink.
Take it with you. Post the glass back to Newton and Ridley.
You're going to feel terrible about this, Bet.
Happen I will, and I'm damn sure you won't. And that's the difference between us.
You're right, she's barking.
So run before I bite. While I'm at it, let's have the rest of you.
Hey?
There's not one of you lot I haven't wanted to get rid of in my time. Come on, get your drinks. Go lose yourselves. Get out, this pub's shut.
Will you go on, Fred?
All right. Bet, if Steve's done...
Get out, Liz.
Look, whatever happened...
I said go.
Okay. Excuse me, Bet, but you can't do this, love.
Look over the door on your way out. See whose name's there.
Yes, but I'm your best customer, love.
I dare say you are. Get out, Jim.
Come on. You're under a lot of pressure.
Mayoress and all. Out she goes. Out, out, out. Come on now, the rest of you. Let's be having you. Get out. This pub's shut.
Do you feel better for that?
I feel nout. Except it's over and done with. And that's that. Yes. Rover's return, Coronation Street. Thank you very much. As quick as you can. Who is it?
Don,
What do you want, Don?
you can let me in.
What do you want, Don?
Me, I don't want anything. Seems you do that.
Such as?
A mate.
Where will I find one of them round here?
You can't write off history, Ben.
Not a word, Don. Not one word ever. Do you hear me?
Okay. You still got a mate if you need one, though. Suitcases? I heard Vicky upset you.
Not so you'd notice.
Who knows where you're going?
No one. And please keep your voice down. Raquel's upstairs.
Well, you're going to tell her, aren't you?
I love her to bits. But she go all limp and mopey. I don't need that.
Oh, Rita.
No.
Where are you going?
I can say where from, but that's as far as I can say.
I'll give you a lift.
I've rung for a taxi.
Oh. Good luck, boss.
Good luck, Don.
Tell him to call for the cab, love.
Calling the cab's the easy bit. See? Easy when you know how.
On your own then, love.
On my own.
A quid says it's the Greek islands. Spain, Tenerife.
You'll be a poor man if you start that game.
Somewhere where there's sun. Single women, they always go where there's sunshine.
Do they find it?
Ah, well, can't answer that one, love.
Oh, they do, you know. They all find it sooner or later.
Join us after the break as we take you on a final journey of Bet Sue returns on and off the cobbles.
You keep playing where you shouldn't be playing. You keep thinking that you'll never get burned. Ha! I just found me a brand new box of matches. What he's got, you ain't had time to learn. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Are you ready, Boots? Well, start walking. Really good to you. Great. Just graphic.
Bet ended up moving to Tenerife and met a man named Bruce, which resulted in a relationship. Bruce passed away and left Bet a boat. Bet decided to move back to England and went to Brighton, where Vicky was living. This is the perfect chance for Bet to visit Vicky to make amends. Vicky's engaged to a man called Robert. Bet takes an immediate like to Robert. Trouble strikes when Vicky's ex-husband Steve came to see Vicky. Trouble strikes again when Steve begged that he could get Vicky back into bed. Steve stood up Vicky and left to go back to Weatherfield. Bet, however, had the last laugh and decided to report Steve to Custom and Revenue for smuggling illegal alcohol and cigarettes.
Do you know I used to live in a street that was shorter than this?
Yes, madam?
Anyway, let's see if they're ready for us. Be ashamed to get there in a thing like this and then find there were nobody watching.
Vicky's.
Hola, Vicky. It's me.
Bet, where are you?
Well, I'm in Oven, driver's in Brighton.
What?
No. I've booked into Grand and I'm on my way to see you like I promised. Now, what I want to know is Alec with you?
No, he's not back from Dubai yet.
No good to me there. I want him stood outside your wine bar when I drive up. You know how first impressions are important to us ladies.
I do.
Oh, well, I suppose I better go round block a time or two. And I'll ring you again, eh?
Okay, yeah. Can't wait to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
If that little tow rag lets me down. Right, just keep driving, Cocker. Reception committee's not quite ready.
Oh, Vicky, it's so great to see you. Come on, start. Muy bien. See?
Oh, it's wonderful to see you. And this is Robert.
Oh, let's have a look at you, Robert. My word, you know how to pick 'em. I bet you can tell me.
Tell you what.
About them two over there. My name's Bet, by the way.
Vikram.
Only we were just talking. And somebody was saying that you'd come down with him.
Steve? Yeah.
And somebody else was saying that he knows Vicky from way back.
He used to know her really well.
Yeah?
Was married to her.
Get away.
I know. I didn't believe it either.
Now, I might have got this wrong, but isn't she supposed to be marrying somebody else?
Well, not if Steve has his way, no.
Really?
No. I mean, you won't say anything, will you?
Cross me heart, hope to die.
Me and Steve, we've got a bet on.
A bet?
Yeah.
On what, though?
Well, whether he can pull her before Saturday.
Vicky?
Yeah. And persuade her not to get married.
Well.
I know. Crazy.
And how much?
The bet?
Yeah.
100 quid.
Hey. Couple of likely lads, you two, aren't you?
Well, he's like that, Steve. You never know what he's going to do next.
We do now, though. Because you've just told us. He's made a bet. Listen to me, lady. He has bet 100 quid he can get you into bed and away from that altar before Saturday.
And he told you this?
No! That's what I'm trying to tell you. His pals told me.
Bet. I don't believe you.
Oh.
I don't believe Steve would say that, and I certainly don't believe his pal would tell you.
So what am I doing? Making it up?
Yes.
Oh!
Because you've always had it in for Steve. You didn't like it when we were married, and now you don't even want me talking to him?
Just tell me this. What's he doing here?
He is doing what he always does.
Oh, yes.
He drives down to Dover and then over to Calais, where he picks up cheap alcohol and cigarettes and brings them back, which I know is illegal, but that is what he's doing here.
Oh, smuggler then now, is he?
Well, I don't care about that. It has nothing to do with me.
Has he got to you already, Vicky? Have you already decided that you're chucking Robert?
That is an awful thing to say. I don't know why you bothered coming here if all you're trying to do is upset me.
And I don't know why I bothered coming either, when all I get to be told is I'm a liar.
Aye, aye.
Why can't you go away and let her be happy?
Oh, nice to meet you and all. Vicky told me you were around.
You're just here to make trouble. Sheer malice, that's all that's behind this.
Behind what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Just go!
Or else what? What are you going to do, chin me?
You'll see what I'm going to do, Sonny. Vicky, love.
Go away!
Vicky. Are you supposed to be meeting him here? Without the plan? Only... You do know he's gone, don't you?
This has nothing to do with you!
Vicky, let me take you home. And then you can do whatever you want. Marry Robert or don't marry Robert. Whatever you want.
Excuse me. Steve MacDonald, is it?
Yeah, why?
Mr. MacDonald, my colleague and I are Customs and Excise officers. Authorised to search you and your van.
Bet returns to Weatherfield in 2002 to attend Betty Williams' retirement party, which delights Betty. Bet later comes face to face with Rita.
I'm going to Weatherfield, Cock.
Pub called the Rover's Return, Coronation Street, if you know it.
Keep the change, Cop.
Nobody gave us a send-off, did they? No, I'll tell you if you like.
Of course, they didn't really understand.
Bet. Correct. Give that girl a coconut.
Well, this is a nice surprise. I had no idea you were coming. I left messages here and there, but I didn't know if you got them.
I did. Thanks, Ken.
Hey, Bet! Oh,
Betty.
glad to see you. I'm glad you could come. You know, it wouldn't have been the same.
Would I miss out on your send-off not for a gold clock?
I didn't know anything about this, do. It was all a surprise.
Well, I wanted to jump out of a big cardboard cake, but they taught me how to.
You daftly.
It's Mrs. Gilroy, isn't it?
The one and only. Do everybody a drink, love. I expect you know what they're all supping, and when you get to mine, it's a gin and tonic. And you and your mate have a drink yourselves.
Oh, thanks.
My pleasure. I served my time behind this bar. I know what it's like.
So, how long are you going to be here then, Bet?
Oh, a few days, maybe.
So, where are you living then these days?
Brighton, Vera, and not just the days, nights as well. Lively town.
Well, still at it, are you?
Oh, aye. Whatever it might be, Vera, I'm still at it or thereabouts.
Well, life's treating you well, I take it.
Never better, Ken. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm back teaching. Oh, it's more of a jungle than ever.
I'm still trying to figure out how long it's been since you cleared off.
7 years, Jack. And without a word of a lie, there's hardly a day gone by when I've not thought about you.
Yeah.
Oh, aye. Whenever my feet hurt or a Brighton seagull does the dirty on my frock, I think to myself, never mind. Could be worse. You could be stuck behind that bar with Jack Duckworth skiving under your feet or somewhere down in the cellar.
He's still doing it.
Oh, yeah, you know Fred, don't you, Fred Elliott?
Well, I'm sure I remember the face. Let me see. Didn't you used to have that butcher's shop far end of Rosamond Street, right?
Right. I've rather more than that these days. 2 or 3 businesses on the go, including this place. Rover's is mine now.
Oh, is that right, Fred? Well, you're welcome to it. 25 years I spent to the side of that bar pulling pints and pleasing punters. I wouldn't do it again. In fact, I'd sooner bag horse muck and sell it door to door.
Hello, Bet.
Oh, hello, Rita.
It's been a long time.
It has. You keeping well?
Not bad, really. You're looking well.
Touch wood.
Do you see anything of Alec these days?
I've not seen anything of Alex since I divorced him. Oh, and by the way, it's Lynch again now. Not Gilroy anymore. I got shut of his name and I got shut of him. All right, I'm coming. Keep your flaming hair on. Rita, Audrey's not in.
No, I know. Actually, I've come to see you.
Well, you best come in then.
We didn't get much chance to speak last night.
That's because we were avoiding each other.
Silly, really. We were friends a long time.
We were, yes.
Well, I'm glad you're not pretending we still are.
No. You kicked me in the teeth when I needed you most. We're not friends.
That's not fair.
Isn't it?
No, it isn't. And you know it isn't. I didn't say anything last night because it was a party. Anyway, I thought you were just passing through.
Oh, I am. Not stopping round here.
Audrey said you're staying a fortnight.
Yeah, that's about right. As soon as I can, I'm off.
Well, I didn't want to feel I had to avoid you. So, you're divorced now?
Yeah. Alex probably shacked up with some desperate old hoofer now. Or a singer.
Actually, Alec and I were quite...
Yes, he told me. Said he was going through a nostalgic period. So it was either you or a woman who had a performing sea lion act. Turns out you got #1 billing.
We're still good friends.
Lucky you. We're still good enemies.
You're very bitter, aren't you?
I've got good cause. I thought me and Alec were going to stand shoulder to shoulder for the rest of our naturals. But then again, I thought you and me were best mates. Turned out I was wrong on both counts.
Oh, so that's it. I refused to spend my savings buying you a pub.
Us a pub. A partnership, remember? And not just any old pub. The Rovers. You knew how much that place meant to me.
It was a lot of money. I wasn't sure we'd make a success of it.
I would have done. I'd have made it pay.
Is that what you've been doing these last 7 years? Running a pub?
Running a couple. Made a success of them and all. That's not a marble.
Good. I'm pleased for you.
Are you?
Yeah, of course I am. I'm glad everything's going all right for you. You deserve it.
Are you being funny?
No. I mean it. You've been through a lot in your life, and now you're comfortable. Happy?
Always smiling.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm surprised you've not ended up in a place like this. I can see you with a bay window.
Still over at shop. I like it.
Any aftershave on your dressing table?
No. You?
It was my birthday last month. Go on, have a guess. How old?
Oh, I couldn't.
Go on.
65.
62.
Oh.
Anyway, it was on my birthday I decided to give up men. Not that that means much. I gave up smoking on New Year's Day.
How long did you last?
15 seconds. I'd half a packet left. I was running them under the tap one at a time. I lit the third one up and that was that. People like you and me, we don't change.
Me and you? I wouldn't say we were that alike.
Yeah, of course we are. We're from the same mould.
Maybe a long time ago. People do change.
I've not.
No, you've not, have you?
How do you mean?
I've worked hard for what I got. Whereas you just seem to drift along. And normally it involves some fella pulling your strings.
You still think you're a cut above, don't you? You don't fool me, lady. I've known you too long. You've only got that shop because Len died.
That was my business.
And his cash. It's all right, I'm only saying. You've been lucky. I've been lucky. You probably did me a favour not buying the Rovers. Because if you had, I'd probably still be stuck behind that bar.
I thought the Rovers meant the world to you.
That's before I'd seen something of the real world. Don't get me wrong, I'll always be fond of the old place. But now I can see it for what it is. It's just a tatty little backstreet pub. And you can put on all the airs and graces you like. You still only run a toffee shop.
I'm not listening to any more of this.
What are you doing? I'm only saying.
I know, I've heard what you're only saying. If it's that tatty and grotty, why have you come back? Oh, don't tell me. It'll be some romanticised story, whereas the truth probably involves a fella and a pile of debts. I was a fool to come round here to think I might try and salvage something. Yes, I've changed, Bet, and so have you. You've turned into a hard, petty woman, and I feel sorry for you. Do us all a favour. Get lost and take that vulgar ring with you.
It was revealed Bet came back to Weatherfield to take Phil Bennett, an ex-boyfriend, to court after he stole money from her. Mike Baldwin and Audrey Roberts attended court to support Bet. Sadly, Bet lost the case and departed Weatherfield without saying goodbye. A year later, Bet was reunited with Liz MacDonald in Blackpool. Liz tells Bet that her husband Jim escaped prison and is on the run. Bet becomes engaged to Cecil Newton, but he sadly dies of a heart attack. Bet returns to Brighton with Liz, where she continues to run a bar.
I want to talk about it. I've said all I'm saying. Just leave it, will you?
Big hair, short skirt, and fella trouble. Could only be Liz MacDonald.
Bet!
The one and only.
Well, last I heard, you were in Brighton.
Well, I still am in Brighton.
I've got an interest in a little place down there. Small, but select. How about you? Last I heard, you got back with Jim when he went in prison.
That's right, yeah. And we're both still behind bars. Only he gets lights out at 10, I chuck out at 11:30. I'm working here now in Blackpool. Jim was transferred to an open prison a few months back, so I got a job close by and I visit him whenever I get the chance.
Can't be easy.
Whenever was life easy?
So, who was the fella? Oh.
Long story.
Best told over a couple of gins in that case. Well, it's supposed to be a brewery, do. I reckon there should be a bar or two about the place.
Hey, I only came to get out at the pub. I am so glad you're here. A friendly face.
I don't see many of them these days. Talking of unfriendly faces. Is that Fred Elliott over there?
Oh, yeah.
Find bar, quick, before he spots us. He's harmless enough. Have you seen anyone you like the look of?
In this lot, you've got to be joking.
Shame. We could have got hitched up. Sneaked off right the big one.
Same old bet. I'll tell you something, I've not had much to smile about lately.
Oh, well, you know why that is, don't you?
Why?
You're an independent woman with a mind of your own who still wants a fella to treat you like a princess. There's thousands of us, love, and we never have much to smile about. In the end, we just paint the smile on each day.
Like clowns.
What do you say we ditch Fred? Find a quiet corner, I'll get us a couple of large gins and we'll save on the tonics by scracking in them.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put a dampener on the party.
Hey, this is your Auntie Bet. I know you, lady, and I care. Come on.
Elizabeth Teresa Lynch, as I live and breathe.
Cecil, are you still living and breathing?
I wasn't 5 minutes ago when my boring son was droning on.
Oh, you can't beat it, can you?
I'd have thought you'd have had enough sea air in Brighton.
No, it's not like this in Brighton. No, you can't beat Blackpool. Candy floss, cockles, beer and donkeys. I close my eyes and I'm a little girl again. Running across the beach, dodging waves and eating butties full of sand.
Hey, I used to see this lad from here. Oh, Trevor something. And he once threatened to throw himself off tower if I wouldn't marry him.
What did you do?
I told him, jump. I can't be doing with emotional blackmail. Besides, Trevor was just a bit too reliable. Only exciting thing he ever did was threaten to jump. I think he got a job selling insurance.
I don't do safe. You see, I like not knowing where I stand. It keeps me on my toes, keeps me young.
But don't you get tired of it all, though? Don't there come a time when you want to just relax and kick off your shoes and give in to it all?
I'll relax enough when I'm 6 feet under. I'm like this place. When the dark nights start drawing in and the illuminations sparkle. Just like me.
Well, well, well.
You've got to get out of here now. Come on.
Why? What's going on?
It's what's going to go on. Fred Elliott and I don't know, hundreds of others are going to be moving in here any minute.
I thought you said Stephen.
I know what I told Stephen. I was wrong. Come on.
All right, all right. On your horses.
And don't worry. I thought of somewhere else for you.
Hey?
Do you like being on a boat?
Do you know, strangely enough, Bet, I haven't been sailing for quite a while.
Cecil Newton, who's my sort of fiancé in waiting.
Fiancé?
Don't ask. He's got one more at Fleetwood. If I can only get you there.
That sounds like it's coming this way.
Oh, help.
Be no wedding. And we could go on seeing each other like we did before. How would that be?
But you said that that was the one thing that you didn't want.
Well, I know.
That it either had to be marriage or nothing. Come on, Cecil. At least have the courage of your own convictions.
Dad? I'm so sorry I missed the wedding. Steve must have told
Love, you weren't the only one who missed the wedding. And no offence, not the most important one either. It's still Bet Lynch you're looking at.
You changed your mind?
No. I think they call it an act of God.
Cecil had a heart attack.
He died this afternoon. Well, I've got 21 quid in my purse. We could go up there, see if we can win our fortunes on the fruit machines. Or you could come back to Brighton with me. We could get very, very drunk listening to 70s music.
On 20 quid?
Hey, at my pub, no problem. I could dock you around at your first wage packet. could do with a decent barmaid.
Souvenir. Actually, I bought it before. It were meant to be a joke.
Kiss me quicker. By heck, the effect I have on fellas, it'd have to be quick before they drop dead.
Let's have it back. It'll get out, actually.
No. I shall wear it tonight. Might just get some offers.
I'm sorry where things turned out. You deserved better.
Deserved? Don't you start talking in the past tense to me, Fred Elliott. There's now past tense about Bet Lynch. Not now. Not ever. I'm not done with this world yet, whatever it tries to throw at me.
Got to wear it.
Bye-bye, Cruella. Keep your eye on this one. Reminds me of me a bit. Try going blonde, love, trust me. You'll never look back.
Don't miss your train, eh, Bet?
Come on, Liz. Party going in Brighton. Got our name on it.
And that was the final appearance of Bet Lynch. There are rumours Bet could return for the show's 60th anniversary special. I certainly hope so. That's it tonight from Ginny and from me. A very good night to you.